All right, this is Chaotic Crypto, where we defy tyranny. It is July 10th, 2023, and we have a little bit of bullish momentum kind of pulling up a little bit here. And there's still people talking about a big pullback or some kind of a Bart Simpson pattern, which is something we could explore. A Bart Simpson pattern, pretty much, it looks like what they're saying. It's really on the daily. Let's see, pull this up, zoom out. You can see it more when it's like this. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do. Yeah, Bart Simpson would do something like this. Basically come up and then we'd reject, come back down to this. Probably the daily moving average like we did before. And that's something we could certainly see, and that'll prolong our recovery until August, September, actually. Which would kind of suck. I mean, I'm kind of pushing for a July bullish momentum kind of move. But you'll hear people talking about like a Bart Simpson pattern. That's pretty much what that is. It looks like Bart. But that's something that is a scenario that could happen. But I'm seeing a lot of bullish momentum kind of pulling up. The daily stochastic RSI is reset, so we don't have any overbought conditions. The weekly RSI is, we still have plenty of room to move up there. There's a little bit of a cross coming, but I mean, we could certainly still. That's not oversold yet. Nothing's really that oversold. Let's look at the 4 hour. That might tell us a little bit. 4 hours a little bit oversold. This is looking very much like a Bart Simpson, though. I have to agree. But I don't know. I like to think that July is going to be. I think July might be pretty bullish, but now on the hourly, we're pretty overbought. Similar to what we had before. So yeah, we might get a bit of a pullback. And there was a little bit more news, I think, with BlackRock, and then someone saying that they think BlackRock should get approved. Whatever. It's all hearsay and all that. It's all media driven. Fear and greed index is still pretty much neutral. It's slightly green, 56. Let's take a look at the open interest derivatives. See how over leveraged everything is. Bitcoin dominance is at a very high. I mean, I'm actually starting to kind of really stack the altcoins because I think the Bitcoin dominance is pretty much at a pretty big high. I think that's where we're going to max out. And it's good to see that open interest is declining. So if we do get a Bart Simpson and reset this, that would be actually really good. Something also to think and consider. And what might cause that, there's a little bit of chatter about the SEC possibly going after DeFi protocols. And if that kind of happens and Gary Gensler comes back out and being who he is, then that would cause a lot of panic and fear. Again, I think July is going to be positive, and that's something that will happen in September or something like that. August, September, but we'll have to see. See what altcoins are running. And I apologize if I'm a little bit burned out. Worked all day. Been a long day. Solana has been pumping, and I really think Solana might be the Ethereum of last cycle. I mean, you buy Solana at like $20, this thing might go to $1,000. It really might. 200 to 500, especially if it gets continued adoption. So I think that's when I look at Polygon. I think that's looking at like probably a $5 to $10 high. And that aids Ethereum. It's a layer 2 that helps Ethereum scale, and it's not as expensive to use. So that's something that could definitely be utilized. I think there's also a lot of partnerships that Polygon has. I think they have a lot more up their sleeve. And yeah. So, Matic. See what else is here. Metal. I don't know anything about that one. I don't know much about that. Let's see. All right, take a look at the news here. On our no-fail trade, Bitcoin traders dollar cost average are profitable. Like dollar cost averaging, no one really talks about that enough. Like everyone I talk to about trying to get into crypto, they're like, "How much should I buy? Should I buy now? How much?" And some people are like, "I'll buy $1,000 of Bitcoin today." I'm like, you should set certain days. Like I think Mondays and Thursdays or something are really good. But just like I would set 2 times a week or once a week. That's what I do. Not financial advice, just that's what I do. And like that way I don't have to worry about it. So it's just something that happens. I don't even really notice it. Raul Powell shares massive price prediction on Solana. Kind of curious about that. Big shock and altcoin announced to be listed by Binance. Cardano whale interest Bergens. Yeah, ADA, I think, is like prepping up for some big moves here soon. And the Solana chart also looks like it's about to break out. It's looking pretty juicy. I was just looking at it. Yeah, this thing is, if it breaks this downtrend right here, it'll probably break it. It might go to 40, $50 and fall back down, come down to 18 or 19 again, and then go for its next move. Though it already has sort of did that retest against its previous resistance. So actually, this looks more like an inverse head and shoulders, which in that case, inverse head and shoulders, you have shoulder here, head here, shoulder here, and you basically take from the line of resistance from the top on down to the bottom. You take this, we're probably about to break out. Let's see what the price target would be. Around $60, $70. I'd say maybe 50. I'd start taking profits here temporarily in here. But if we do break up here, I have to also understand that it's possible that we come all the way down there. I'm not sure if that would happen, but that's a typical breakout pattern like that. And I think Solana kind of looks like an early Ethereum. Take a look at Ethereum's chart. Although it is kind of sharing a similar charting pattern to Ethereum as well. But it kind of looks like Ethereum back in the day. Yeah, if you look at... Yeah, you could look at it like this. This is the similar kind of move. And then to kind of prove this is another inverse head and shoulders. Price target would be from here to here. And then you take it from breakout. Could be at any of these points. And then you certainly did meet that target and then some. But then we came back and came back down to this area. So you have to kind of you look at the past history of these coins, and I think Ethereum is Solana is really close to Ethereum. And you just kind of have to look at the similarities and what these things do. And I think that's a very similar chart. Now, something I haven't really looked at, I don't think. Maybe I have. This is the Ethereum chart. And I haven't really done any kind of price prediction on Ethereum. I'm kind of curious what the chart's going to say. Now, if I had to think right now what I think Ethereum is going to hit, I think it's probably going to hit 12 to 15K. That's just a total guess. I've done no pre-work here. What I want to do is basically take the price range, and we'll take it from the bottom of the last bear market, and we'll take it all the way to the top. We had be conservative, 5,500% increase from the very bottom. 5,500. Okay, that's the last cycle. I'm going to do the one before that. See what the differences there were, which is probably going to be really insane. So 5,500 to 20,000% increase. So that's a minus 4x. Now, so say call it we'll call it 6,000 divided by 4. What is that? We'll call it 4,000 divided by 4, so we'll do a 1,000% increase. That'd be right. Yeah. I think it'd be a little bit more than that. So we'll go up. This is assuming a similar pattern of decreasing percentage increase. So again, this is Ethereum. We're going up to 1,000%. This is relatively conservative. Well, actually, it's not relatively conservative. Apologies. Let me try that again. Actually, this is kind of surprising me. And it would actually make sense to a degree. Okay, back to the bottom. 881, 1,000% increase. Oh no, that's actually about what I expected. So a $10,000 Ethereum from the bottom. And that'd probably disappoint some people, but that is a pretty decent return. That's a 10x, 5x. I think we might push a little harder than that. I don't know, though. It's hard to say. I think if you wanted to be safe, that's kind of what you'd be shooting for on Ethereum. But it's very possible we'd give it to 20,000. So that's my little prediction. I said, I originally say 12 to 15,000, so 10,000. Blow off top, put you at 12,000. 15, and I think it's actually supposed to be a little bit more than 1,000%. I think it would come to 12 to 1,500%. So 12,000 actually makes sense. So we'll see what happens. Hold me to it later on. Oh, this is a little bit more. Raul Powell, CEO of Real Vision, super bullish on Solana. According to Powell, it could 20x from current levels, and I think that's pretty true. I think a Solana 20x would be absolutely in the cards. In fact, that might even be a little bit conservative. Let's take a look at. I was just looking at Solana. Where did it go? There we are. Solana 20x, that's the same thing as a 20,000% increase. So on a whole, and we'll actually compare it to Ethereum. This is be our little fun experiment today. Let's see. So price range. Raul Powell says 20,000% increase from current levels. All right. Now, this is it's going to be a pretty hefty number here. These people make these predictions. You really can't bet on these things. But we'll go with 19%. Current levels. It's a $4,000 Solana. Now, he could be factoring this in comparatively to what Ethereum did last cycle. There's more competition in the market. There's more coins, so there's more dilution. So maybe it won't quite hit that. I think $4,000 is a little bit overzealous, but honestly, it's still it's within the realm of possibility. So let's see. We're going to take and look at the last cycle and what it did. No, it's not going to repeat that. We'll do similar to Ethereum. It decreased by four times each time. So he's saying it's basically going to repeat. Okay, it did 25,000% in the last bull market. Okay. That is a diminishing return, and I think his prediction is possible, but it's not very conservative. I have a hard time with it. There's also a lot of manipulation. There's manipulation on all. The crypto is heavily manipulated because it's such a new asset class, and a few people hold these things. And the whales / people that have all the coins. They're able to dump these things pretty hard. So yeah, manipulation is excused. It's all kind of the same, but I don't think if we do a conservative move here, so 6 divided by 24, what is that? 8? What is, no, I mean 4 divided by 24. So that's 24,000 divided by 4. What is that? 5,000, 6,000. We'll go with 7,000%. 7, 14, 12, 28. 6. Yeah, we'll go even more conservative with 6,000%. And the previous run was taken from the bottom. Raul Paul made this prediction as of today, current levels. I'm being really conservative here, but this is a pretty good little exercise. So I was said, okay, this is Raul Paul's said. This would be like the massive bullish case. I'd be taking so many profits right here. And hey, if it went to 10K, wonderful. I just don't see that happening unless it just gets completely adopted worldwide. Which Solana does have its own phone. There's a Solana phone. I mean, Solana has a lot going for it. In the Audius app, it's decentralized like a Spotify. I mean, there's some cool things about Solana, and also Helium Network, a decentralized. It's like an internet, I believe. It's like a internet provider, kind of like Verizon. It's like radio mining. Anyways, I have a Helium miner, but I don't know if it's really doing me any good. Check with it. But okay, so I decided on a 6x, 6,000% increase. So we'll take this from the bottom. This is pretty conservative. Probably overly conservative, honestly. But this is where I would start. I'd take profits probably at previous all-time highs at 200, assuming this thing doesn't really topple over. I mean, if this thing starts getting really sad and not a whole lot of activity, and we're in 2020 into 2024, 2025, it hasn't really done much. And you just don't know about Solana, but I think it's probably going to do well. So, and this is why you diversify, have a few coins of each kind of type. So yeah, you're looking at 450, 500. I think 500 is a pretty good. Again, these things will undershoot and overshoot. You just can't really. This is over the next couple of years. Like this is from 2024, 2025. End of 2025, I'll definitely be out of the markets. And another thing you could do is kind of like just to take a. Just kind of see, okay, what's the middle here? 1,300. Now, you can look at Ethereum. Its second cycle, it went to 1,200. So I'd probably do another set at 1,000. Do another set at 1,200, something like that. This would be like the golden pocket. And then you let the moonbags roll until for Raul's prediction. But those would be my take profit areas. And that's from current levels. That's 10, 15x. That's a pretty hefty move. Anyway, that's just an idea of what you could do. I'm still working on my take profit strategies. I'm going to try to share that with everybody as I go, but I wanted to check in really quick. Looks like the markets are kind of doing pretty well, but don't want to say expect that Bart Simpson, but that could be a move. We get a strong move down, come back, and then move on up, but we'll see what happens. Hang in there, huddle on, and we'll check back in later or tomorrow. Peace.